Sullivan, and my project is changing the view of the night sky. My project interested me as it dealt with both light pollution and astronomy, which are both things that I like. After doing some background research on light pollution and how it impacts a person's view of the night sky, I found out about sky glow. Sky glow is mainly caused by extreme amounts of light pollution and other natural factors such as smoke and clouds. I wanted to see if an easily measurable factor like temperature could affect sky glow. My hypothesis is the higher the temperature during the photo, the more the sky glow will be. Same for the lower the temperature, the darker the image result will be. My research description is sky glow is the glow of the night sky. It can be caused by natural and human-made factors, but is mainly due to light pollution. According to the International Dark Sky Association, blue light emissions in large amount of lumens increase light pollution. Furthermore, street lighting and outdoor lighting retrofits using 4,000 kilowatt lamps can result in a 2.5 increase in light pollution. Light pollution disrupts natural habitats and scientific research. The ICA states that light pollution can disorient or inappropriately attract species to lit areas, interfere with ecological interactions like predator-prey relationships, disrupt natural circadian rhythms, and influence species' ability to detect seasonality. In particular, insects, birds, and baby sea turtles are easily affected by light, leading to their decline in population. This is why light pollution is a major impact that influences everything. My keywords are sky glow, which is the unnatural glow of the night sky resulting from light pollution, which causes limited sight of the stars, Milky Way, and faint celestial bodies, which impacts scientific research, natural habitats, and animal reactions. Light pollution is the effect of light on the night sky caused by large amounts of light being produced and affecting the night sky. When taking these photos, I use my camera and I control three main settings, which are aperture, how open the lens is when taking the photo. The larger the aperture, the smaller the opening is. This is controlled by the f-stop setting. The shutter speed, which is how long the camera lens is open. The longer the lens is, the more light that is allowed in, and the faster it is, the stiller the image will be. The ISO is how sensitive the camera sensor is to light. The more sensitive the camera is, the more light will be recorded, the less sensitive, the darker the image will be. I developed my procedures over a week-long period of taking photos, and I was trying to get a bit more stars while keeping the sky brightness around the same level that I could see. The settings that I found did this were at 18mm zoom with my lens, 30-second shutter speed, 10 f-stop, 3200 ISO, the lens set to manual focus, and the UV filter attached. My procedure was to set up the thermometer up to 5 minutes ahead of time of the photo. I would write down the temperature at the time when the photo was being taken, and the tripod would be set up as high as it could ascend. After setting up the camera on the tripod, I would put the lens on and make sure the settings were at 18mm zoom, 30-second shutter speed, 10 f-stop, 3200 ISO, manual focus, and the UV filter is attached. After attaching the lens, I would angle the camera around 90 degrees facing skyward. When taking the shot, to make sure the surroundings of the camera were near identical as I could get them, with the blinds closed but the lights are on, and to make sure all outdoor floodlights from my house were off. I would try not to make too much movement while taking an image, as that could rattle the tripod and make the image blurry. The materials that I used were my Canon ESO 4000D camera, my Canon EFS 18 to 55mm zoom lens, my Vivitar Series 1 UV lens at the 58mm for my attaching to my lens, the Transcend 32GB SD card, my 13E Pro tripod, the Ross Chalmers digital thermometer. And here's the photos. Some of the data that I gathered was the temperatures, and on the graphs it shows that in the first week we had a gradual increase in temperatures, but the other 2 weeks they had more of a V-shaped throughout the week, which helped me realize the fact that temperature did not have a large effect, if any, on stag low. These are some of the photos that I took. Unfortunately, they didn't really print ton detailed, but in the digital copies they are clearer to see. My results were in line with both the data and the observations. The result seems to be that temperature does not have a noticeable effect on stag low, if any. No matter the temperature outside when the image was taken, the brightness only increased when the moon phase was increasing. When the moon phase was close to the same, the photos looked extremely similar, and I couldn't really tell which day was which. But there was a temperature difference between the days, and they were close to identical. So the data I used was a moon chart for the month of November, and also relying on my surroundings and looking at the moon and how it was closer to the camera photo, the image that the camera took versus being further to the back and not as affecting it. Now, my observations showed that the moon growing was the only major impactor of stag low. Pause. My results did not support my hypothesis. The variable temperature did not affect the glow of the night sky. If at all, it was not noticeable. The temperature did not cause any glow or reflection of the light from man-made sources. The reason that I thought it may affect stag low was the exposure of sunlight during the day. The results of the experiment show that temperature does not have any noticeable effect on stag low, if it has any. The results also show that when using a camera to record light pollution, you have to factor in the phase of the moon, clouds, and smoke. One thing that could have been done while doing the experiment was to do it over a longer period of time or multiple months. This would give me more results to compare the phases to the same phase at different temperatures. Yay.